Hey guys, it's TakeAFight, and today I've got a review of the Roccat Burst Core, or apparently it's Roccat rather than Roccat. I don't know anymore. Let me know in the comments what you say or what you think it is. Is it Roccat or Roccat, or how am I supposed to say that? Anyway, this is a £25 or $30 mouse. Regardless, the Burst Core is the little brother to the $60 Burst Pro. And as you can see, it shares a lot of things, which is quite a good thing as this mouse is very good. However, it does have a couple of issues which maybe make it not brilliant value for money. So make sure you stay around to the end for my verdict to see what I really think. If you do enjoy this video, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But obviously you've got to watch it first. So guys, let's get into this. So like I said, this shares a lot of things with the Burst Pro. And that's a good thing. I really like the shape of the Burst Pro, and a lot of people will agree with me there. So that means this mouse has exactly the same shape and dimensions. It's semi-ambidextrous, and it's 120mm long, 58mm wide, and 38.7mm tall. It means it's got that great shape, which for me, I really liked with my relaxed claw grip. But if you're a claw user in general or a fingertip user, you should have no problems with the shape of this mouse, and it's definitely a shape a lot of people like. Obviously, if you're a palm user, unless you have really small hands, it may not be brilliant. If you want a bit more information on the shape, make sure you check out the full review of the Roccat Burst Pro, as it's exactly the same. Another thing it shares is the really light weight of 68 grams, which is about ideal for what I personally like. Obviously, it's not ultra light, but at the same time, it's not really heavy. For me, 70-ish grams is a nice middle ground, and I really like that. Definitely feels nice and light and agile, so I was very impressed that they kept the weight the same on the cheaper version. According to all the spec sheets, all the websites and everything, from what I can see, these both claim to have the exact same mouse clicks, which are the Titan optical switches. Now, these aren't for everybody. I personally quite like them, and obviously people see the performance benefits of an optical switch. However, they tend to not feel as nice as a mechanical switch. Mine did feel slightly different to ones on the Burst Pro, with the ones on the Burst Pro feeling a little bit better. But like I said, I'm not sure if they're actually different or whether they're the same, and it's just a difference in feel of the click. Either way, here's a sound test of the left click on the Burst Core and the right click. And for comparison on the Burst Pro, the left click and the right click. I do personally think they are the same switches, and mine just feel ever so slightly different. And that's a good thing in general. That means you've got some nice, good quality optical switches on a mouse that's just $30. For the cable, obviously you miss out on the nice flexible cable you had on the Burst Pro. However, it does just use a rubber cable, which is much better than a cheap, useless braided cable that's really stiff. If you use this in a mouse bungee, you shouldn't really have any problems. Obviously, it's not brilliant, but at $30, I don't expect anything else, and I think they made a decent choice there. For the feet, I was very impressed. Once again, obviously they're not amazing, but at $30, I think the feet felt really nice. They were definitely much better than something like the $30 Death Adder Essential, and in my opinion, they were much nicer feeling than the ones on the Rival 3. Which is obviously a really good thing. Overall, the feet were very good considering the price. The side buttons and scroll wheel also feel and perform exactly the same as on the Burst Pro. It's really nice that they're the same. It means they feel really good. I had good opinions of them. The side buttons feel and click nice. Similarly, the scroll wheel performed very well. I personally had no issues double scrolling or anything like that, and I was a big fan of those. As usual, here's a little sound test of the scroll wheel scrolling and clicking. And for the side buttons, the front side button and the rear side button. As with the Burst Pro, the build quality is very good. There's very little flex everywhere. No matter how hard I squeeze on the sides, I can't activate those side buttons, which is a very good thing. It's just overall a very solid mouse. Now we get to my only issue with this mouse. So the sensor it uses is based off the PMW 3331 with 8500 DPI. Performance wise and like how it performed, it obviously felt fine. I had absolutely no issues with its accuracy, precision, or anything like that. The issue, and it's been a recurring theme recently with me with mice, is the lift-off distance was a bit high. So usually to measure lift-off distances so I can get a nice comparison between them all, I use playing cards, and this had a lift-off distance of 11 playing cards. 11 playing cards is the same as the $60 SteelSeries Aerox 3, so if you want to go watch me rant about that mouse, then check out that video. However, it just wasn't great. It just meant that when you're readjusting the mouse in games, you'd often get a bit of cursor jiggle. It's much easier to let slide at a $30 mouse. However, if that sensor was just a little bit better, I think this would hands down be the best mouse for $30, especially in the UK at £25. I think it'd be incredible value for money. Finally, some money is saved over the Burst Pro with the lighting. You don't get all the cool RGB, simply the scroll wheel lights up. But especially in white like I have, I think it looks very nice. It's subtle, and overall, I actually quite like the look of this mouse. I have no complaints with it. Roccat software is also very good. It's very nice to use. You can find everything you want and customize absolutely everything. Overall, I'm genuinely really impressed with this mouse. For $30, you get the great shape of the Burst Pro, the nice optical clicks, great side buttons, scroll wheel. The cable and feet for $30 are some of the best at that price point, and I think it's a great value for money mouse. The sensor is the only thing that lets it down a bit. I mean, obviously I understand it, it's a budget mouse, and I think it's not actually that bad. However, I just wish it was that little bit better, that little bit lower lift-off distance, and it would have made this an absolute steal. However, if you're looking for a mouse for $30, I definitely think this is a great option, and it's personally what I'd go with over the SteelSeries Rival 3 and Death Adder Essential, which are two cheap mice I've reviewed recently. I'll do a comparison with those mice soon though, so that you can know exactly what you want to buy if you're looking to buy a mouse in that price range. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to look as cool as me, and I know you do, you can get yourself some merch at techify.co.uk/merch. For your next video, go check out the review of the SteelSeries Rival 3, as that's another $30 mouse, and I think that would put up a good fight against the Roccat Burst Core. Or if you're willing to spend a bit more money, then go check out the review of the Roccat Burst Pro, as that's definitely a great mouse if you're willing to spend $60. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.